Hello students, in this video I will be using the concept of present value to compute the outstanding balance in any moment of the annuity. I will be using an example that was used before for showing how to compute the payment. In this case, there is a moment of repayment of the debt, of the initial debt, in which you have a balance, and we want to compute what will be the balance in any moment of the annuity. So the problem I solved before was this. Daniel purchased a condominium apartment for $690,000 with 25% down and monthly payments amortized over 25 years. If interest is 4.5% compounded monthly. The question that I solved before was what will be the periodic payment. Today what we are going to do, or in this video what we are going to do, is to compute the outstanding balance in some moment. For example, in the first question, we are going to compute what is the outstanding balance after 10 years of payments. So at the moment of finishing this, the 10 years of payment, what will be the amount that is still owed in the annuity? And B, what will be the outstanding balance after 20 years of payments? Of course, if we have a problem like this, the first thing that we need to do is to compute the payment. So we have an annuity, we have a series of payments. This annuity has an amount that is owed at the beginning. This will be the present value, and of course in this case will be the condominium value minus the 25% down that was given at the beginning. Computing this AN will be the first things to do before computing this periodic payment. But we need to compute the periodic payment. We need to know how much we have repaid of the annuity and the value of the annuity to compute the balance at any moment. Let's review again what is this AN. Obviously this AN will be the purchase value of the condominium minus the 25% of its value. So because this was the amount that was given as a down payment, 25%. If you do that in your calculator, you compute the present value, the amount that is owed at the beginning of the annuity. So let's answer this first question. For computing the outstanding balance, you need to know the periodic payment. So the first things to do is to compute the periodic payment. And to compute the periodic payment, you will need to take into account the nominal rate of interest. And the nominal rate of interest is 4.5%. It's compounded monthly, so M, the number of compound periods per year, is 12. And with that, we can compute also the number of payments. Because this annuity is amortized in 25 years, so the term is 25 years. So to compute N, we multiply 25 times 12, the number of payments per year. The payments are again monthly. This is an ordinary simple annuity. N will be T times M, 25 times 12 equal 300. This is the N that you need to use in the formula of the present value of the annuity. And the formula of present value of the annuity, we know that is this. Because we are trying to get the periodic payment, then solve for R. If you solve for R, you have that you need to cross multiply and divide by this factor. So R will be equal to I times AN divided by 1 minus 1 plus I to the power negative N. Make a substitution of all this value. I is 0.045 divided by 12. AN is this value, $517,500, and N equals 300. If you substitute this and use a calculator, you can compute what will be the payment. And we know that the periodic payment is $2,876.43. We already did that in a previous video. So now that we know the periodic payment, we can compute what will be the balance in any moment. For example, after 10 years of payments. So let's take note now of this periodic payment. So the periodic payment is 2,876.43. So this will be another datum that we have at this moment. Let's compute the balance after 10 years of payments. Assume that we have made payments for 10 years and this is the last payment. So we want to compute what will be the outstanding balance at this moment. What will be the amount owed at this moment? One idea to compute how much we need to pay that day to pay the whole debt is to compute the future value of the debt and subtract the future value of the payments. So that means that you will need to do two things. First, compute the future value of the initial amount and then compute the future value of the series of payments. So it's like using these points at the focal date and compute the outstanding balance, the amount needed to repay the whole debt that date. Another idea will be think in the remaining payments and compute the value of these payments at the beginning of this period. That is what we're going to do. We are going to compute the present value of the remaining payments. And that will give you only one thing to do. The only that you need to know is how long is the time that is missing. And you know that there are missing 15 years because if this was 25 years and this last payment was in 10 years, then there are 15 years remaining. So what we need to know is how many payments are here in these 15 years and use it to compute the present value of this payment. That is what we are going to do. So let's see how much will be n in these 15 years. 15 times 12 will give you 180. That will be the n that I'm going to use in the formula of present value here. Let's use it. We know what is the periodic payment that we already computed is 2,876.43. The I is already know the periodic payment, and the only thing that you will change is the number of payments, and it will be the number of missing payments. And there are 180 payments. So put here 180. Make a substitution, so it will be 2876.43 multiplied times 1 minus 1 plus 0.045 divided by 12 to the power negative 180 divided by the periodic interest. Okay, put all this number into your calculator and you will notice that will be 376.07.22. So that means that the outstanding balance after 10 years of payment is $376,007.22. Okay, so that will be the way to compute the outstanding balance in any moment. So just see how many payments are missing and then use this number to compute the present value of the annuity at that moment. Obviously, before that you need to know how much is the payment. So let's do it just for practicing the other problem. What is the outstanding balance after 20 years of payments? We know that we are going to use the same formula of the present value. Now we are going to take into account that after 20 years of payments, there are only missing 5 years. To compute this AN, the present value here, will be just taking into account the number of payments. 5 times 12 equals 60. That will be the number that will be here in the formula of the present value of the annuity. So use again this formula, make a substitution of everything. You know R, you know the interest. The only thing that you are changing is this N, that will be this 60. Use your calculator and you will notice that the answer is $154,289.92. So the outstanding balance after 20 years of payments is $154,289.92. Okay, and with that I finished the explanation of this. Anytime that you are going to compute the balance, you can compute first what is the payment in the annuity, and after you know the amount of the payment, you can compute the present value using the number of remaining payments as the number of payments in the formula of the annuity. I hope you have found this useful, and thank you